Good morning, Miramar, and welcome to the show. I'm your host, Tamara G. You can check us out on all of our social media. We are on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at City of Miramar. And with us, we have our esteemed mayor of our great city, Mayor Wayne M. Messam. He is inviting everyone, or at least the men, to come out to the Men's Health Summit happening this Saturday, September 30th, 2300 Civic Center Place. And we also have two very special guests with us today. We have attorney Reggie Mathis. He is the president of the Beta Beta Lambda chapter of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated. 06 is in the house. And we also have Pierre Rutledge. He is the president of 100 Black Men of South Florida, another good alpha man in the house. And we are so happy to have them as well, along with our very own alpha man, our Mayor Messam. So Mayor Messam, thank you so much for doing this for our men.
Oh, yes. So, yes, thanks, Tamara, for having us. And we're inviting everyone to attend the Men's Health Summit taking place this Saturday, September 30th. And the summit begins at 1 p.m., but we have some precursor events that'll take place that morning. We are excited to have Dr. M.J. Coyer, who, by the way, is another great alpha man who is known across the country and his nationally syndicated segment that's on the Ricky Smiley Show, heard here locally on Hot 105. He's a medical doctor that really has made a second career of really expanding the knowledge and resources to Americans across the world, especially on Black people, in terms of some of the stereotypes, things that we should be looking for in terms of our health. But the goal of this event is actually to reach out to the men in our community to have a real talk about the issues surrounding our health in our lives. And I'm proud to have the Beta Beta Lambda chapter of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated and the 100 Black Men of South Florida. And as I conclude the opening up, it actually is open up to everyone, not just the men, because we're inviting ladies as well, ladies who have their husbands, their partners, men in their lives who they love and care about, because we know that our significant others are the ones that usually pushes us men to the hospital or to go get our regular checkup. So it's a team effort, and we're inviting everyone to come out.
All right. And of course, we'll give that information, how people can sign up, men and women. But I would love to talk to President Rutledge, the 100 Black Men of South Florida, about how you guys got involved and why you decided to get involved with this Men's Health Summit.
Well, Tamara, thank you so much for inviting 3 alphas and 3 active members of the 100 Black Men of South Florida. It's a pleasure to be with the trifecta. So you should feel, just elated to be surrounded by alpha men. But nonetheless,
we Deltas love our alpha men.
The 100 Black Men of South Florida is a chapter of our national organization, the 100 Black Men of America. The 100 Black Men of America have been around since 1963. Started by some very famous African-American men who wanted to make a difference. David Dinkins being one of them, Jackie Robinson being another, and others. Locally, we've been around since 1989. It's been 34 years we've been in the South Florida community doing great things. Why are we involved in this event that's happening on Saturday? We have 4 pillars. First and foremost, we consider ourselves the preeminent mentoring organization in this country. And in the South Florida area on the mentoring, we have our Dr. Harold Ginyard Leadership Academy, our Positive Youth Development, which are middle school kids, and our Collegiate 100, which is on our college and university campus. And we presently have one at Florida Memorial, the only HBCU in South Florida. The second pillar is education. Our third pillar is health and wellness. This is where this comes in. We talk about health and wellness and just us, African-American men and women, having an opportunity to talk about sometimes sensitive subjects, but it's very, very important as we become more seasoned to know our bodies, to know what's going on, and be able to address those issues accordingly. Now, we don't run marathons like Mayor Messam, but we try to get our 10,000 steps in, right, Reggie Mathis, every day, so that we can try to stay healthy. And our last pillar is economic empowerment. And under that, we have law enforcement and emergency services, career fairs, as well as our Christmas shopping spree. So thank you for having me. Thank you, Mary Messon, for having the vision to do this. And I think I got about 7,000 steps in today. I'm going to get 10,000.
Sounds good. Working on that health. Well, since you threw it to President Mathis, of course, he is the chapter president of the Beta Beta Lambda chapter of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated. President Mathis, why did you all decide to get involved? I know, the Alphas have been leading the way since 1906 when it comes to Black men in America. But why did you guys decide to get involved with the Men's Health Summit?
Well, again, thanks for having us. And Mayor Messam, thank you for inviting us to be a part of this very important endeavor. As you know, Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated has been the preeminent collegiate and graduate chapter of men since 1906. But since 1937, Beta Beta Lambda chapter has been at the forefront here in South Florida. And through our health and wellness committee, it's only right that we, this was an easy one for us. September, we've been focusing on sickle cell. We had an event at the newly renovated Jesse Trice Center for Colorectal Cancer. And so it's bringing awareness because, as you mentioned earlier, many of our men do not go to the doctor until it's too late. And there are there are many preventable diseases that can be caught early. Many folks don't know, but the age to get a colonoscopy has gone down from 50 to 45. So I actually had my colonoscopy a year ago, and fortunately, things were found early enough that I'm out of the woods. But had I not undergone that colonoscopy, may have been too late. So we're just trying to get folks to come out because an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. So we just want to get folks to come out, not be so afraid to get on a one-to-one basis with their doctor, to have a treating physician, someone to call, these aches and pains, because sometimes they could lead to more severe inflammation. So we're just proud to be a part of this, and I look forward to it. And hopefully, everyone will come out on Saturday.
And it is happening. The City of Miramar inviting you to the Men's Health Summit on Saturday, September 30th at 2300 Civic Center Place in Miramar. Of course, that's at the right there at City Hall and the Cultural Center and everything. So you can't miss it. Please come on out. Special guest, Dr. MJ Collier from the Ricky Smiley Morning Show. I wanted to ask this question, Mayor. Now, you did say that obviously this is for men, and that some of the significant others are also invited as well. Will there be a chance or a way for you guys to really talk about some of these issues, the health issues that are plaguing not just men, but women too, but definitely men, the mental health, maybe sexual issues, things that are happening, stress issues? Will there be an honest dialogue, and will they be able to express that at this summit?
Oh, yes, and we'll encourage that. And that's the beauty of having Dr. Collier. He's very skilled in regards to having these frank conversations. That's why we're calling it Real Talk of Real Issues. And when you really think about it, even though men, we may not share these challenges, with one another freely. I'm not going to say that everyone does not. Some of us have, friends that we can have these discussions with, but for the most part, we conceal these issues. But the beauty of also inviting ladies to the event is because ladies are very adamant about ensuring that not only that themselves are healthy, but the men that they love and care about are also taking those steps to be healthy as well. And sometimes we need that extra prodding to be able to, to push us in, and to be able to ask really frank questions about this. We're going to be a room of adults, and we're really going to go there and have these discussions. And Although everyone may not ask their question, but I guarantee you there will be questions and dialogue that will be asked that many individuals in the room will have themselves, may not have the courage to ask, but at least they'll be able to get a response and information to help them deal with their situation.
Sounds good. So it's going to kick off at 10 o'clock with yoga at the Miramar Town Center, and then at noon, the health screening, and then at 1 o'clock, the panel discussion and Q&A. But you also have something very special too, that people are eligible to win some gym memberships.
Yes, so right across the street, 24-Hour Fitness actually is the largest 24-hour fitness in the state of Florida in terms of the number of check-ins. A very popular place. So we'll be giving out 10 free memberships, 3-month memberships to 24-hour fitness. But it's not just a membership to go to the gym. It's a membership that allows you to bring a partner with you, as well as personal training for 3 months. 3 months of personal training. It'll be 4 sessions per week. It's enough training to be able to really see some transformation. You get a diet plan. You have an opportunity. If you really have some consistency and follow through with it, you should see some transformation in your body, as well as being able to put you on a path to be able to, once the membership expires, for you to continue yourself. But at least over 3 months, you should be in a routine where you can be able to self-train yourself and be able to be in a routine and a mode and a mindset where you can be able to continue that physical activity.
And of course, you can sign up at MiramarMen'sSummit.eventbrite.com. MiramarMen'sSummit.eventbrite.com. I wanted to ask President Rutledge, you had mentioned earlier about, we're now, particularly the 4 people on this call, are at an age where we really should be more cognizant of what is happening with our health. Are you finding that you're having friends or people that are in your age group that are experiencing some really bad health issues because they aren't looking into their health?
Well, Tam, I'm glad that you asked that. That brings home a aha moment. I attended a funeral last Saturday of someone who grew up with me. We are the same age, and they were called home to glory. And a lot of what we do is we're caught in the stigma that African-American men, we're taught not to cry. We're taught not to show a whole lot of emotion. So therefore, we become very insular in terms of things that are really important to us. And I think that we've gotten to a point now, and with leaders like Mayor Messam and others, we've been able to have the dialogue in terms of what's this thing really about? It's okay not to be okay, because the biggest hurdle to solving the problem is realizing that you have one. I'll give you this tidbit. He's gonna start laughing. I run 5Ks every now and then, when I want to train to get in them and get in shape. And I told Mayor Messam, I said, man, I don't know about this. You know what he told me? He said, you're gonna be sore for 1 week. Just push through it.
Wow.
Don't give me a bunch of excuses. Tell me how it's going. He told me where to go get shoes, the whole 9 yards. But you need that kind of prodding, that kind of push sometimes. And it helps when it's another male telling you. We have frank discussions all the time. Some of my friends, we talk about PSA, what are our PSA counts? We talk about making sure that you have a toolkit as we grow older of doctors who are actually professionals who deal with an issue. You go to a urologist, you go to a cardiologist. You have your general doctor, you go to a podiatrist, you go to your ENT, your ear, nose, and throat. It becomes hectic, but if you want to be around and you want to be healthy, I think it's very, very important. And that's where the women come in. They have a funny way of pushing us where they need us to go, with us not even knowing that we're there. So
I love it.
Talking to everybody at the same time, they're also being educated, because there was a long time that men didn't even talk about getting breast cancer. I know 2 males who have breast cancer. So you have to have those kind of frank discussions, and Dr. Carter's coming. He's on the Ricky Smiley Morning Show, and I'm interested, and I invite everybody to come out And listen, I guarantee if you come, you're going to learn something, and it just might save your life.
And we're very inclusive, and the city of Miramar, I'm sure the mayor will say that it is open to all cultures, all races, anyone who wants the information. I wanted to ask this question of President Mathis is, in your other world as an attorney, there are also other factors that deal with our health, particularly with males. But even with the drug culture that is out there now, and people coming in from prison and the things that are happening there, do you see where kind of maybe some of this is kind of all related to how people think of their life and living their healthiest and living their best life with what you do for a living?
No, absolutely. Just coming back from our general convention in Dallas, Texas, where there were lots and lots of crowds, and as we left Dallas, we get reports that there was a lot of COVID that was circulating. Went out to Hard Rock Stadium a few weeks ago, a lot of crowds, a lot of coughing. Right now, I think everyone is kind of in the know health-wise. It's not as bad as it was 3 years ago, where if somebody were to sneeze, then that's you almost call the police. Like, how dare you be outside? But and also you mentioned prison. I was at the Paul Ryan jail, in Pompano 2 Sundays ago, and one of my clients that I was about to go and see was in quarantine for COVID. So these are things that are supposedly taking place inside, there's a possibility for it to come outside, because I was going to see him without a barrier, without a glass barrier, because I've been vaccinated, I've been boosted. So I'm thinking, I'll be fine. But we're all, interconnected, have young children, and, my 3-year-old comes home, every other week with
something, huh? Well, and I hope
something.
that I hope that Dr. Collier will address this, or maybe you'll bring it up to Mr. Mayor, about the use of pharmaceuticals and how that is it's just taking out particularly our young men and people who are self-medicating for whatever reason that they're self-medicating, that as well. So we've got to be careful on all fronts,
Yeah, there's so much, with the power of the internet and access to information right from our mobile devices, anything that looks credible, sounds credible, we think that it may be, a cure or some treatment, and without there not being any studies or any, peer-reviewed data that will, pardon my light here, but it's important for us to understand that you can't trust all the information that you might see on the internet, and you need to talk to, a medical professional. Doesn't necessarily have to be a doctor, but someone that is formally trained. There's some thoughts and some beliefs on the benefits of chiropractic medicine. You have some holistic approaches as well. So there's more than one source for healing, and but you need to know where that source is coming from. So I'm sure that our featured speaker will be able to address some of this as well. And before we go, I do want to encourage those who are watching this program that if you have some time, every Saturday we do free yoga at 10 o'clock right at City Hall in the Botanical Garden. And we started that in COVID, when we were all locked in quarantine. And so it was actually called The Time to Heal, where we gave an opportunity for residents to come out, do some yoga for a holistic approach in terms of dealing with the quarantine situation. And it has continued. It got so popular. And it's probably 90% females that are there, and they're getting all this benefit. So I just want to encourage the brothers who might be able to come out at 10 o'clock. You don't have to bring a mat. We suggest you bring a mat. You can get one probably for $5 from Walmart or Target. It's not that expensive. Come on out, and you just might love that experience. Rocky Rowland is our yoga instructor. She's amazing, and she's bringing in one of her colleagues, a brother that also is a yoga instructor to do some routines for us as well. So, but after the yoga, we'll have health screenings with Memorial Healthcare Systems, who will be able to check blood glucose, blood pressure, and some of the basic screening tests that all of us should have that can perhaps identify, some underlying issues that we may be dealing with. And that'll be right before the summit that will start at 1 o'clock. So if you have some time, you can have a full mid-morning to early afternoon experience with us at the City of Miramar.
I love it. All right. Sign up today. It is a free event. Miramar Men's Summit.eventbrite.com. Again, Miramar Men's Summit.eventbrite.com. Thank you, Mayor Wayne M. Messam. Also, thank you to Attorney Reggie Mathis. He is the president of Beta Beta chapter of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated, as well as Pierre Rutledge. He is the president of 100 Black Men of South Florida. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you, my Alpha brothers, for being here today, and looking forward to the Men's Summit on Saturday, September 30th, this coming Saturday. Thank you so very much.
Thanks so much.
And thank you for watching Good Morning Miramar. We'll be right back.